Okay, great stuff. It looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. Hello, all, and welcome to yet another Vega Fairground Testnet Jam. This is a weekly event. My name is Dagan. I'm a community manager at Vega, and you may have seen me here and around, especially at the Validator AMA that we had yesterday with Barney moderating. That's now live and on the Vega YouTube channel if you haven't seen it yet. Also, do check out Discord. You can find some links to it here and there. But yeah, this event is the weekly Vega Fairground Jam. It's an ongoing series. It takes place every single Thursday at 6 p.m. UTC +1 or British summertime, where each week we take a deep dive into an aspect of the Vega protocol with a member of the Vega team or a special guest. Then we usually follow up with an open Zoom room so that if any keen attendees can have a chat with the team or just hang out with us and follow up on anything we might have covered in the call today. This week, we have a first time showing from one of the Vega team members. We have a front end extraordinaire and engineer, Matthew. Hi, Matt. Today, Matt will be talking a little bit more about the activities that you'll need to do in the run up to the next round of Incentivized Testnet. This includes deposits, withdrawals, and voting and governance proposals. We're currently on a very, very busy road towards restricted mainnet in September. But during this time, it's still really, really vital that we test the Vega feature set on Fairground Testnet. And that's why we're trying to launch more incentivized games alongside our huge crunch as we get towards mainnet in September. As always, some quick housekeeping before we begin. Whilst Matt is sharing his screen and presenting with you guys, you'll feel free to ask questions in the Twitch chat, and he'll answer those at the end of the call. And then about 5 minutes before we end the session, I'll be posting the Zoom link in the Twitch chat. And we encourage you guys to come along and hang out if you just want to have a chat with the team or follow up on any of the themes covered in today's call. So I will stop talking and hide myself, and I'll hand over to Matt, where you can do a quick introduction and then begin going over the stuff we're talking about in Incentivized Testnet today. Over to you, Matt.
Thanks, Dagan. Glad to be here. My first Twitch stream on whilst being with Vega. So pretty excited, and we've got a lot of exciting sort of things coming up to do with incentivized testing and games to get people using the network, and hopefully iron out any issues we might come across as a result of that. So probably the first thing everybody will want to do to be able to take part is go ahead and get yourself set up with a Vega wallet, or as it's called in the repo, the Go wallet. It's written in Go. And the way you want to do that is to go over to the GitHub repo, which is Vega protocol /go-wallet. And from here, you can go over to the releases page and download the latest version and get set up with that. We do also have a hosted wallet, but I think we generally recommend people to go and get set up with the local wallet if they can. At the moment, this is basically a command line app. We are working on developing that into a desktop application just to make things easier for people that aren't comfortable with the command line. Yeah, just to, if you're not super techy and you're not comfortable in that area, then that's just going to help smooth those things out. So I'm just going to share my screen. Hope you can all see that. Dagan, give me a shout if it's not connected.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool, thanks. So yeah, over here on the left is the repo for the Go wallet. So you can go and check it out there. It's open source, and to get to releases, you can go to tags and then over to releases here. We just released 0.8.0, and you can download it for your operating system of choice here, and that's going to get you set up to basically do things on the Vega network. So you'll need a wallet to sign transactions, to submit orders, for example, or propose markets. And I'll just give you a quick show of how you use it. And as I said, right now, if you're not super comfortable with command line, that's fine. We are in progress with the desktop app version of this, providing a GUI, so you can do all of this in a much more friendly, user-friendly way. But I've already downloaded it here. I'm on Windows, so it might look a little bit different if you're a Mac, of course. And if we run that, we can run that with help, and we can see available commands. And the first thing you'll want to do is Vega wallet init. Sorry, it's probably service init. And what this is telling me here is I've already knitted it, so I can re-init with a force if I wanted, but that will set you up. Actually, let's just do it fresh. So init like that. So now we've got a fresh Vega wallet. We then want to call Genki like this. And you want to provide a name. I'll just do Matt and a passphrase. Just 1, 2, 3. Okay, giving me a little message there. I've done something wrong. Oh, it's because I don't need service. Name, Matt, passphrase. Click that. What's going on here? Have I done a typo? Yeah. Cool. So I've generated some keys. And I can also now just view them by doing list with my name, which can be a shortcut with Matt. Passphrase 1, 2, 3. Bang. Cool. So we have all our keys here. And so now I have a key I can use when I connect to console. Also via the desktop version of this, you can be able to launch console from there. Right now, I'm just going to go directly to console.fairground and just connect manually, but there will be a way on there that you can click a button and it will basically launch up console for you in a browser, which will be quite handy. I'm just going to disconnect here so I can show you this again. Cool, reload that. And let's disconnect there. Cool. And so in here, I now need to connect to my local wallet. So what we need to do here is first call service run. And this is going to spin up an HTTP server, which gives you some endpoints to basically interact with the wallet between the console running in your browser and the wallet service running in your machine. So in here, we can go local wallet here. It's going to pre-input the local wallet address that this is running on, which is your local host on port 1789. And then we can use the same username and password that I just created. And bang, same keys you see here, you can now see here. And we can use this to go ahead and do fun stuff like placing orders, etc. And I think it might have gone, we might have gone over in a previous testnet jam on this, but again, the deposit and withdrawal process is largely the same from this point onward, but we can run through one now. Let's get some test die so we can deposit. We've got some handy links here just to help you direct you to get some ROPS and ETH for gas. And also get some test die as well. These won't appear when you're on when we're fully live and connected to mainnet, because obviously you can't just give yourself ETH. So they will likely not show, but right now in testnet and for the foreseeable future until we switch over to mainnet, you will see these here. So I've already got some ROPS and ETH, but I want to get some die. So this is just basically hitting a faucet function to pump up the gas. We're not waiting too long. A faucet function on the smart contract to give us some of our test die. And we just got to wait a bit for that now. Hopefully that all goes through nicely. We can also click on this link here just to, I just missed it because it completed quickly because I've put so much gas. But yeah, it went through, but you could click on that link and just view it in Etherscan to double check. So now I have 10,000 TDI or whatever that is. Next step is need to approve, do an approved transaction, basically saying to Vega, like, this person has approved to give you some of their TDI. It's kind of a two-step process, just sort of an added layer of security. Again, let's pump up some gas so we're not waiting around too much on the demo. And we'll confirm that. Got to wait for this now. Here, for every transaction we do, we always show just a view on Etherscan link. It's kind of just a good practice so that people can go and verify from another source what the state of their transaction is. So we'll wait for that. Once this is through, we can then decide how much we actually want to transfer from our MetaMask wallet to the Vega network. And this is something you'll need to do to be able to vote. You'll need some vote tokens. Actually, I should have demonstrated using a vote token, but I'll come back to that in a second. So now we've said to Vega that this ETH address is approved. They want to give us put some test DAI into the network. So let's not do the maximum. Let's do like 5,000 or something. And we can hit that. Pump that up again, spending a lot on gas today, thankfully all Ropsten. Okay, so yeah, that is now, the transaction is running on Ethereum. Once that's complete, it's going to be picked up by the Vega core network running Tendermint, and then eventually credit my account, which we should see down here on the bottom left in my collateral here. Now we do get a few people raising issues actually, which is something we need to think about improving, where after the Ethereum transaction is complete, it actually takes a little while for the Vega core to sort of pick that up and verify it. And so when the transaction is complete in MetaMask and an Ethereum network, it's not going to appear immediately in your collateral. There's going to be sometimes a few minutes just before that will appear. And yeah, so some people have been sort of raising issues with that, which we really love because we want the community to be helping us in raising issues if they spot things. But perhaps we need some better signposting or a way of just saying people that, showing people that this might take a while. It's come through pretty quickly actually this time. So yeah, now we can see we've got our TDAI down here, which is all in a general account. The general account is basically what you can use for trading with. So that's good. That's all good, all working. Same thing for withdrawals. Works slightly different, similar but a bit different. With withdrawals, slightly different form. Now we're going to pick what Ethereum address we're going to use. So we want to just use the connected one up here, which is what my MetaMask is currently set to. And we can do use maximum, but let's just do 3,000 just so we can see everything. So when you click start withdrawal, it's now from here, it's a two-step process. We have to first prepare a withdrawal and basically notify Vega that this person wants to take this money out. And the reason for that is we need to basically move the tokens around into different accounts to protect people from basically trading with tokens that you are trying to withdraw at the same time. So it's kind of another security layer there. So I click finish withdrawal now. I'm going to submit another MetaMask transaction. More gas. And again, same thing applies. We can go check that on Etherscan over here, make sure that's going through okay. And as you can see here, we have now got a new account on a TDAI. We've got the amount we wanted to withdraw in a lock withdrawal account. And that's what I was just talking about before, where we don't want people to be able to trade with tokens that they are in the process of sort of withdrawing and putting in into their Ethereum account. So that's why we have that set up in that fashion. So that looks like that's gone through. So we should see in here now, yeah, 2,000 TDAI. And if we go into Ropsten here, if we go to assets, TDAI, that might be an older version of the test token, probably not, but how much did we remove? We did 10,000 and then 2000 back. So I think that's correct. It might be an older version of the test die token. So it might be off, but I think that's gone through fine. Cool. So yeah, so that's what you'll need to, so all of that is stuff you're going to need to do to take part in sort of the incentivized games we've got coming up. Really, it would have been good of me actually to deposit vote tokens. That would all work in exactly the same way, but you're going to need vote tokens to vote on things and also to propose things like using the governance system, such as proposing new markets. So you just do all those steps I just showed, but for the test vote token. And as I said, this is all a lot. I think Dagan mentioned it, but a lot of this will be provided in, well, all of this will be provided in documentation and blog posts. So don't worry about trying to remember all this. We're going to have some very clear set of instructions of what you'll need to do to go ahead and take part. That leads on to the next part, which is basically proposing and voting. So the way you'd want to do that in the console app here to go and view that is we'll open a new tab and we'll go and look at what current proposals we have. Just move that up there. So we have a few enacted and a few rejected. These rejected ones are actually me just earlier today preparing, trying to propose one, but I think we have an issue with actually proposing right now. But I'll show you how to do it anyway. And I've already sent over a message to some of the members of core, bugging them as to why my proposals aren't going through. But yeah, we have some markets already proposed and enacted, which are the markets you actually see up here. So I'm not sure if part of the games or not will include proposing markets, but if you wanted to do that, there's another window for that called propose. Now you get presented with this fairly daunting, big, empty text area, which says JSON proposal. And right now, the way you make proposals is you have to submit a JSON, basically a JSON object in one big go, which isn't ideal. We have tickets and are in the process of coming up with a design of just building this out into a fuller web form, just to make it a lot easier. Because right now, if you're not familiar with JSON, you're kind of going to be like, what the hell? How do I actually do this? B, it's very easy to put a typo in and mess things up. But so hopefully we'll have that coming soon, and it'll just be a regular web form here asking you, what do you want to propose? Do you want to propose a new type of asset? Do you want to propose a new market? Or do you want to make a change to a current market? Maybe some of the parameters of that market you think should change, and you want to put that up to vote to the community. All of that can be done through this form here. The test JSON itself looks something like this here. And yeah, these are all just fields basically, which tell the market, set up the market configuration and sort of set up how that market's going to work, what asset it's going to be, when the maturity date is, what product it's going to use. And all of that is in here. So as you can see, it's quite daunting right now. And if you miss a comma here, for example, it's going to fail. Like if I just do that, my editor is telling me already that it's invalid JSON, but if you're just doing this in a regular text document, you're probably not going to get notified, and you're going to paste it in and it's going to fail, which is really why we want to have a better user experience on basically making these proposals. But yeah, so here you can see things like the closing timestamp of the voting period, the enactment timestamp of when this proposal will go into effect. So when this market will go live if enough people vote yes on this particular proposal. So yeah, bit of a tricky one right now, but we're hoping to improve that pretty soon. Put in a nice web form here where you just input values, maybe have a date picker or something like this, but rather than having to input raw timestamps, which isn't super friendly for people that aren't very techy. So yeah, that's something that will be upcoming soon, I hope. The reason it's like this right now was just purely for flexibility, as we were sort of figuring out the best sort of shape for this, the best making testing easier, things like that. But yeah, as I said, not the most user friendly. Once you've submitted that proposal and it's gone through, it will then appear in this list here. And I believe there's going to be incentivized, some incentivized games around voting as well. And the way you'll be able to do that is by just opening up one of these proposals and basically you can put it in your allow, or you can do it in the modal window itself. But this proposal is already enacted, so it's not possible to vote on it. But right up here in this government section, there's going to be two big buttons: vote yes, vote no, and you can change your vote after you voted once. So if you change your mind, you can go back and change it. And depending on some of the network parameters around participation and pass and fail thresholds, that will either go through or be failed. And yeah, so I think part of the incentivized games is just to really sort of harden this up and get loads of people using this governance process, just to basically just give it a really good test on a live network, and just make sure that the core sort of stands up to the pressure of that, and sort of all works accordingly as we'd expect. Yeah, so unfortunately I can't show you the actual proposal going through right now. You can see all my test ones here which keep getting rejected with this error message, which isn't super helpful. So we'll hopefully have to tidy that up as well, so that I can see what's wrong in my JSON and see what I need to fix, or perhaps we might have a little bug here in core that we need to fix. And then yeah, as I said here, there's going to be a yes or no vote button, which you'll be able to click to basically indicate what you want to happen with this proposal. Additionally, this view here shows all the details of this particular proposal, which is for a new market, which has already been enacted. But as I said, there's other types of proposals that can be made as well, such as a new asset. So if you want to introduce a new asset to the Vega ecosystem, you'll be able to propose that. And also updates to network parameters. So things like participation and threshold and sort of more general network rules about how Vega functions. You'll also be able to propose changes to that. And I think those are the main three we have right now. I'm trying to remember if there's a fourth. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, there's also updates to markets, which I touched on briefly, which allow you to change how a specific market behaves. And I think that's everything I wanted to cover. I guess I'll pass back to Dagan, and if there's any questions from Twitch, we can handle those.
Thanks, Matt. This was really quite a in-depth demonstration. We appreciate it. You've got some people following along at home. Some have asked for the GitHub repo and are looking to mirror the actions you've just completed.
Sure.
We have one question.
Just quickly, just to go, I'll just quickly show the repo again here. So yeah, you want to go to Vega Protocol, github.com/Vega Protocol, Go wallet releases, and then go and pick up the latest local wallet. So that's how you would go about that. You'll need to just get it for your operating system, and then once you've downloaded it, run it, and it will. Best thing to do once you first get it is just to run it and then put space help, and it'll give you a list of commands you can do.
Perfect, thanks. I did also link them in the chat, so they
Super.
can click into the releases.
Much quicker.
Yeah, there was one question. I think I can answer it, but it says Ryan has asked that they need Ropsten DAI and deposit that into the Vega wallet via MetaMask. And yeah, you need testnet. You need Ropsten assets to get started using the Vega testnet. and you can get them from a faucet, and all the instructions are actually linked on console.fairground.wtf, so you can follow it along step by step. Yeah, Matt, do you have any other comments? It was just about using Ropsten assets.
Yeah, you'll need to get yourself Ropsten. There's a couple different faucet services you can find if you just Google Ropsten faucet. We also have, as Dagan said, links in other documentation, but also you can, we have a link here which will basically take you over to, I think this is the most widely used faucet. So you'll just need to put your address in here, and you should get, I think, five Ropsten ETH once that transaction goes through. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and you only really need to get the ETH once, because once you get 5 ETH, you won't need any, or 1 ETH, however much you get. You don't need much ETH for each transaction on Ropsten. It's very, very cheap because it's all free, and it's like 0.001.
Yeah, I think I hit the faucet like a couple months ago, and I haven't had to top up since, because yeah, gas is a fairly small amount. So in terms of running those transactions, it will take a long time to burn through that. So should only need to be done once.
And once you've set that up, you can just get assets as many times as you want by clicking through in the testnet. And it's all quite self-explanatory once you start using it. The best way is just to get stuck in and start messing around a bit. I don't think we have any other questions. So yeah, that's it for this week's Vega Fairground Jam. Matt and I and some other Vega team members will be hanging out in a Zoom room after this. So I've posted the link to the Zoom room in the Twitch chat, and do join if you'd like to continue the conversation or get any personal support, or just say hi. We'll be there for about 5 to 10 minutes, and if anyone joins, we'll answer questions, or if not, catch you at the next one. This will be uploaded onto YouTube shortly after tomorrow, or around tomorrow or early next week. You'll see the recording and you can watch this over. And then we hope to get incentivized games going fairly soon, and you'll be able to put into practice some of the things we've been going through here, and you'll be able to win Vega tokens for doing so. Yeah, ask any questions on Discord, come and chat with Matt, myself, or anyone else. If you ever need any support, we're always happy to help. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week at the next Vega Fairground Jam, 6 p.m, with Candida and I going over an introduction to Console Part 2, which we started 2 weeks ago. Thank you for attending.
Thank you,
Matt. See you next week. Bye-bye.